There are so many interesting, horrifying, or downright weird things in this big world of ours.
Each week, we'll bring you a new true crime story that has little to no coverage in English.
Let us do the translations, so you don't have to. Let's just start now.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
should
okay.
just start
It's
right now.
started.
I'm starting now. It started. Because it's
Hello.
a free fucking episode. It's a tangent episode, a tangent episode. Yeah.
Yes.
It's
We
our-
might start doing these more regularly, right? Maybe like once a month.
Yeah,
the plan.
yeah,
Yes.
once a month. Yeah. Just kind of,
Unless
I don't know,
you hate it.
unless what?
Unless the
Unless you hate it?
listeners hate it.
Oh.
Like,
I thought you said unless you hate it. I was like, okay, Petra. I think you can probably say now if you hate it or not. You've done a second one now. But yeah.
but yes.
Well, if
Yeah.
anyone hates these, I don't know. Just
You can
let
skip
other
us
this.
know.
episodes. Yeah, exactly. Because I don't think we have like lots of tangents on the other episodes, so I think we're kind of straight to the point at the beginning of our other episodes, and then this is like the banter back and forth that some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
really like in episodes. So
And if
Yeah.
if you don't like it, just skip this one and like wait for next week, or
yeah, or re-listen to our
we're
other
not forcing you to
episodes.
listen to this.
No. So who wants to get started first, though, is the question.
So each of us has one news story, right?
Yeah. And I think like the format of doesn't necessarily need to be like breaking news,
Yeah, just something
but I
that we
did
find
try to have
interesting.
it. Yeah, and I think like now mine is a bit more timely than my last episode of this like news
Mhm.
and stuff. But yeah,
I think I
think,
started last time, so someone else should start this time.
okay. I mean, I guess I
Or did I
can
start
then.
last time? I don't know. Okay,
I
I
don't
don't know. You can start
Opening.
now.
Okay, yeah. So mine is also taking place in Finland. So I don't know if you guys have been reading any of the headlines on Yle or this, I don't know, news channel, basically. I've been getting some suggestions for articles and stuff. And there's this terrorist cell, in Finland. Did you ever read about this? There's these 5 guys that they were arrested in December of 2020, all under the age of 30, who were kind of suspected of they were going to plan a terrorist attack in Finland.
Oh, yeah. I do
Was this in
remember something about this.
Kankaanpää?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't really remember any of the details though.
Yeah, so I kind of looked up a few details. Like there's lots of articles, blah 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 blah. But yeah, so apparently this is the first time an arrest like this has happened because like terrorism isn't, I want to say, like a huge thing in Finland. And so that people were actually arrested for plotting terrorism and suspected of terrorist activities is quite a novelty here. And so it turns out that, okay, these maybe I try to be nicer because like some of them are not actually arrested still. Okay, well, anyway, I won't be super overtly mean to these people,
Okay.
but just because I fear repercussions. But
Doesn't that mean that the terrorism is working? It's
oh shit,
causing
the
terror.
terrorism wins. Terrorism wins. Okay, never mind. Okay, so these fuckers, they followed a far right ideology. So namely like this accelerationist ideals. And what might you like ask yourself, what is accelerationist ideals? So it's basically this kind of means that they want to create chaos in society in order to hasten the collapse of Western societies. And they want to use extreme violence to pursue this goal. And then they basically, yeah, like they use kind of this accelerationist ideas. They use several mass killers of recent years as like kind of their inspiration, these fuckers who usually follow this type of ideal. And they usually want to have some type of like racial conflict through violent means, such as assassinations, murders, terrorist attacks, or societal collapse, and blah, 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 to achieve, what they want to do, everybody, because, we're talking about far right ideologies. Can anybody guess what they want?
A woman to lay with?
No,
sorry.
no, that's
I was-
Often what they
incels.
want.
That's an incel. That's an incel. But so they want a white ethno state. So they just
Okay,
want,
yeah, of course.
white power bullshit. Like, yeah. So yeah, they usually
I thought that was that was too obvious of an answer, so I thought it must be something
yeah,
more complicated. Yeah.
well, these people are kind of simple, so it makes
Mm.
sense that it's as simple as that. But yeah, they usually kind of some other people who kind of follow this accelerationist mentality would be, for instance, the Christchurch mosque shootings that happened, and then the Escondido mosque fire. So basically, people who are, most likely going to be Muslim and or maybe some other color besides white that these fuckers usually try to go after, which, yeah, trying to target. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of like their ideology and a little bit of, how do you say, like, yeah, some other outreaching, some other stuff that happened in the world that also, accelerationists, that's what they are. And so these guys were kind of dubbed a neo-Nazi gang, and they were from the town of Kankaanpää, and they all have kind of, extensive list of crimes committed by the members of this group. And, they were known to harass people, intimidate, attack people over the years. And, of course, many of these victims were of minority backgrounds because, they're asshole white power people. And yeah, during the preliminary investigation of these guys, the police confiscated several weapons, including assault rifles, sawn-off shotguns, dynamite, fertilizer to make explosives, basically. So they had all the supplies to actually make bombs. And yeah, so that was kind of their findings in their terrorist cell. And so the initial investigation and arrest was 2020. And then it's kind of carried on through the year. So there's always a bit of an update every year or every, couple times a year. And then in 2022, the Satakunta, and this also kind of plays back to my other case in Satakunta, the Hilkka Saarinen, that's also in Satakunta. So lots of things happen in Satakunta. The district court there cited that Chapter 2, Section 8 of Finland's Coercive Measures Act was the reason for releasing subjects because they actually released some of the guys. They basically, a person arrested or remanded for an offense and released may not be rearrested for the same offense and blah, 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 blah. So some of these guys were actually released, which was big news in 2022 because they didn't have proper evidence or whatever to hold them. Yeah, which is, I didn't go too far into detail because there's many articles about this. And so now where we're at in 2023, as of January 31st, 2 of the 5 guys who are suspects in the case have been charged with crimes committed with terrorist intent. And then the other 3 guys, previously suspected of involvement, were charged with offenses but were no longer accused of crimes with terrorist intent. So they, have their previous track records of, abuse and having some crimes against minorities and whatever, and I don't know, whatever other stuff they were up to. And then it turns out some of these guys that were in this cell, they were kind of brothers and cousins or something. So it was a bit inbred as well in that regard, where it was a familial thing. And then one of the guys that was friends with them, he stated that he was not a neo-Nazi. And he knew the other guys, who were family units in Satakunta or in Kankaanpää. I mean, they were arrested, or he knew them since childhood. And I have always been opposed to authoritarianism and to the undermining and violation of civil rights and individual freedoms in all their forms, whatever the group of people concerned, he stated. So that was a direct quote from him. And it's which is, sure. So you don't mind like he just doesn't want to be told what to do, authoritarianism and stuff, because Finland is so is an authoritarian regime, and it's just kind of laughable.
Sure.
This whole thing is
Yeah.
just ridiculous, and yeah, but I found it kind of interesting, so yeah. Didn't really give you time
Oh,
to talk, but do you have any thoughts now?
no. Oh my God.
Have you been to Kankaanpää?
I think I have, yes, but I don't
I
remember.
haven't.
I don't
I
remember what
have
I
been
did
there
there.
I wonder
Because
why. Okay, I'm
several
sorry.
times.
yeah.
It's
I-
because they have the art school there,
Ah.
University of Applied Sciences for Arts.
Mm,
I don't know if that's the translation, whatever. I had friends there, so I used to go to Kankaanpää actually quite often.
mm.
And I think
I
there's also
looked
a
it up.
military
It's
base in
oh, okay.
Kankaanpää. So there was some, like, I at least heard stories that there was all kind of, well, fights because the art school students were quite these, like,
Ah, that was
yeah,
part of it.
hippie free,
That was part of
woo.
it too. Yes.
And then there was these army
Yeah, there
guys
was
who
like
were
an
not maybe
article
so
about that
hippie.
too. There was like this round. Yeah. Fuck. But basically, it's just a bunch of white guys who don't like outsiders and don't like government rule, and then they wanted to have some, they thought they were special having a terrorist cell. Or am I being too mean? Are they going to target me? I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, but I mean, usually it goes so that like these people, this is like the only place that they've lived in, like a lot of the times at
Yeah.
least. Like
Yeah,
that you live
yeah.
in this like tiny Finnish town,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say in the middle of nowhere, but kind of you don't
I,
see a lot of
it is Kankaanpää is
right,
in the middle of nowhere. I
like
mean, it was
kind of
always
right.
like it took forever to go there with 2 buses.
Like how many foreigners do they really meet there? Like where do they get this
Mm.
idea that like everyone who's not white is bad? Like is it probably like I don't know
From the
online influence
internet.
too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just always so interesting to see also when it comes to elections that like bigger
Mhm.
cities where there are actually a lot of immigrants or like non-white people, those are always voting more liberally or like pro immigration sort of into that direction, and then the people from these like very rural places tend to vote more to the right when they don't actually
Mm.
have that much personal experience most of the time with immigrants or the people that they think are so dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm
Yeah.
looking at the politics, at least the results of the 2011 Finnish parliamentary election in Kankaanpää. Can you guess what the
I think I could guess.
highest political party is in this area?
What could it be?
I don't know.
Could it be? Hmm.
Could it be the perussuomalaiset? Yes, you would
No
be correct.
way!
The True
Shocking.
Finns with 37.2%,
Mm.
and then the second one would be the Center Party with 25.5.
Mhm.
Because
And yeah,
countryside.
yeah,
Wow, okay, that's actually a
oh,
very big difference there between the first and the second. Because I think
yeah,
I'm like I feel like in Finland it's a lot more common that there's only a few percentages difference
mm.
between the
Mm.
parties.
Sometimes they have like the different ranking of different cultures as well, not just language, and they also have age, but yeah, this they don't really say. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
Yeah, there was some statistics about these kind of things and like other things as well. I think within Uusimaa
mm,
a few months ago, that I
yeah,
was looking at like the area where I live in and like the percentage of like people from Finnish origin and non-Finnish and stuff like that. But I don't know if they always publish like a nationwide statistics or was it just some Uusimaa specific thing?
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's all I had to share about this terrorist cell in Finland. Yeah, it's so extreme. We're like a big country, Like we're
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, we're having terrorist cells like we're part of America or something. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
who wants to go
I can
next?
actually I want to go next because I'm going to talk about terrorists too.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna talk about something completely different. So
That's good.
go ahead, Petra.
Yeah, it's maybe a good way to end this.
Well, I don't know. Let's see.
So my news is that one of Japan's most wanted terrorists, called Satoshi Kirishima, was this January. There was a man in a hospital in Japan having cancer that can't be treated anymore, going to die. And he had been there already for some time. He was 17. And then
70, not
suddenly,
17, right?
no, 70. So
Ah,
an
okay. I
old
was like,
man.
wait,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because it sounded like you said 17, like seitsemäntoista. And I was like, huh? Is he Benjamin
70.
Buttoning this or something? Okay, sorry.
Okay, so the guy who is 70 years old and has cancer and is going to die, and he's in hospital in Kanagawa in Kamakura, and he had come to the hospital with a false name, and then one day, 25th of January, he just decides that, hey guys, I have to tell you something, I am actually Satoshi Kirishima, the terrorist. And the
Wow.
hospital is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I will call the police now.
Wow.
And it takes only 4 days until he dies. So 29th of January he dies. So what
Wait,
he
and
said,
it's this year.
yeah. So this is a
Oh, what?
news. I thought we were talking
Hmm.
about news,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I just
Yeah.
wanted to double check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was news. That's why I noticed in the news, and I was like, oh, this is a maybe story to share. So yeah, and apparently what he had said was that, okay, I want to die with my real name, not with some random fake name.
Okay.
Wow.
And when he died, they did take his DNA and compared it with his relatives, known relatives, and it matched. So he most likely is the guy. Or, I mean,
Wow.
was the guy because he did
Mm-hmm.
die. Well, his relatives were like, no thanks. Like, we don't want the body. Do whatever you want. Because, as said, he was one of the most wanted terrorists in Japan. I think anyone who has visited ever Japan has seen his picture because he's like, you can see these wanted criminals posters from time to time in specific places like metro stations, police station walls. And it's this very nice looking guy with a bit longish hair and eyeglasses. It's a picture from the 70s when he was a student. And he smiles very nicely in the picture. So it's like, yeah. But he was part of the East Asia Anti-Japan Armed Front, or Higasi Asia Hannitsi Buso Sensen,
That was
which
a
was
mouthful.
a
Yeah.
yes. So basically, as the name tells, it was a organization, terrorist organization that was against Japan. It was like a leftist terrorist organization. There was this leftist terrorism in Japan in the 70s. And as far as I understood, their point was kind of that the whole empire of Japan should not exist. Like the existence of Japan is wrong and evil. And like, well, they pointed out a lot of the war crimes that Japan has done, which,
Yeah.
well, like, of course, Japan has done war crimes. That is a historical fact. But like, they had this very extreme, like, okay, Japan should just, stop existing type of.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like leftist Japanese, and I think there was also some like Korean people in the group.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was like anarchist terrorist organization. Some of the members also joined the Japanese Red Army, which is also famous of its terrorism. And one of, I think, the most internationally famous attacks this group did was the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries bombing in 1974, which killed 8 people and injured over 300 people. So basically an attack to the Mitsubishi headquarters in Tokyo. And why they attacked, it was because the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries was supplying United States against North Vietnam. So against like the left, the red world. So they wanted to attack the corporate supporting that. So yeah, well,
I look at this picture now.
The history of like leftist terrorism in Japan is interesting, but I won't talk too much about it. It's a very long thing, but if you want to read more about it, I think
but maybe you could bring some sort of a case related to that.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Yeah, I even thought that this could be a case to bring, but then I don't know. I prefer not to maybe take these like mass terrorist cases.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, I thought this was really interesting because he just
Yeah.
came to the hospital. Like he has, since the attack, he has not been found. Like that happened in 70s. He's been a very good hider, I think.
Yeah, like how come no one recognized him in the hospital? Even, I mean, I understand that he was much older by then, but then you said that his picture was everywhere.
But then again, the picture where he's this happy, long-haired student, I suppose when he has come to the hospital with a cancer.
Yeah, probably cancer didn't help. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's an old man with cancer. Probably he doesn't look the same at all. So, yeah. And I don't know, like what kind of life did he live? Probably, like he hasn't had health insurance or anything because he has to hide his identity for about 50 years. So, yeah.
Wow.
But it was really big news in Japan, of course. That okay, finally we know what happened. There he
I'm glad
was.
that they could confirm it through DNA, because otherwise it would just be so like
hearsay.
If this is true.
Yeah. But yeah, he got the kind of this what is it called in English, like anonymous funeral, because the relatives did not want to deal with him, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good that they were still like cooperative. Like, okay, you can take my DNA and compare it.
Yeah.
Probably they also wanted people to be able to know the truth.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, not cool,
That was
but
the life of...
anyway.
But yeah. I mean, yeah. Some of the people, I remember that some of the people who were part of the attacks have also at least one given a public apology that he really regretted that was like too much even for the cause, that they shouldn't have done things that kill people.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what this guy thought. Like, did he ever regret or not? But who knows? Now he's dead.
Yeah, we can go into the politics of that in a completely different podcast if you want to. But
yeah.
Ooh, yeah, we should have many other podcasts, it seems.
Mm.
A happy one and a political one.
Yeah. Do you want to go next, Victoria? Or
yeah. Well, who else?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think Eddie has something to say, or Steve. Foster definitely has something to say. Postivaunut. Where's Postivaunut today?
I don't know. Not here. I think she's in the sauna.
Oh.
That's always in the sauna.
Nice.
Except when I turn it on. And it's super
Of course.
Yeah, but I can go next. So actually the news that I brought is about something that we briefly talked about, the three of us, and it was not recorded. So it was, I think, before one of our episodes. It's related to one of the Austrian basement cases.
Oh God, yeah, we did. Yes.
And I think, like, Petra, it sounded like you know more of the details, but I think, Laura, you didn't really know what these are about. So
No.
this is one of them. It's about Josef Fritzl. So yeah. So I found, actually, at first I found an article in Hungarian, and then I realized that there are also other news articles in English as well. So I just have this New York Post one here. I was thinking that I can just read a little bit from that, because then it also covers why he was initially sentenced and then what's happening now. Because basically the point of this is that he might be released. He was sentenced to life in prison. He's now 88 years old, and he may be released from prison soon-ish. And this news is from like mid-January, so recent-ish. Yeah, so it says Fritzl, now 88, received a life sentence in 2009 for the incest, rape, coercion, false imprisonment, and enslavement of daughter Elizabeth in the cellar of his home in Amstetten. I think he is usually referred to, or quite often referred to, as the monster of Amstetten. So that's a town in Austria. As well as negligent homicide for the death of one of 7 children to whom she gave birth. Under the terms of his sentence, Fritzl will be eligible for parole this year. And, like, of course, this in itself would not necessarily mean anything. But then apparently his release appears likely after a psychiatric report determined that he is no longer dangerous. I am already in the process of obtaining a conditional discharge for him, Fritzl's lawyer Astrid Wagner told local news outlet Groningen Zeitung. So first I was like, okay, well, I mean, he's up for parole, but it's not very likely that he's going to be released. But apparently in this case, it kind of is. And it says, if the application is approved, which I assume will be the case, I would like to ensure that he gets a place in a home for frail people, he said, according to the Mirror. It was not immediately clear when the final decision will be made. Heidi Kastner, a forensic psychiatric expert from Linz University, spent a year preparing the report, concluding that the country's most notorious inmate no longer poses a public threat. She said he could be transferred through a normal prison system to the Kremstein jail as part of a first step toward being released, most likely to a nursing home to live out his final years.
Okay, I get it. Like, he's just too old to be dangerous anymore. That sounds like the major point here.
Yeah, it is the major point.
Like, that if he's so fragile, what can he do? I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, still,
he's
it's just such a horrible case.
Yeah, and apparently he's also suffering from dementia, possibly.
Yeah.
Too, so
Yeah, it says that Fritzl appears to be confused, regularly talks to the TV, believes he's a pop star, and discusses visits from family members that never happened. Yeah, he also reportedly experienced multiple falls behind bars and needs a walker.
So basically they want to, take him to an institution that is more suitable for him and probably not as costly as a prison. Or I don't know which one is more costly.
Yeah, I want to still add these few details from the case in case someone doesn't know how horrible this was. Fritzl's crimes were first discovered in April 2008 after he took one of the children born to Elizabeth to a hospital due to a life-threatening illness. Of the 7 kids born from the repeated abuse of his daughter between the ages of 18 and 42, 3 remained in captivity with her and 1 died
42?
shortly after birth.
42?
Yeah. His
Who is
daughter
42?
was the daughter was kept in this basement between the ages of 18 and 42.
Ah, okay. Daughter was 18 when he put her and 42 when she got out.
Yes. And then 3 of the children, so I think, did I say 7 children were born, or 8? 7 or 8? 7.
I think you said
And then
7.
3 of them, 3 of them remained with her in the basement. until they finally got out in 2008. One of them died soon after they were born. And then the others were raised by Fritzl and his wife Rosemary after he claimed that they had appeared on their doorstep. So I think he was kind of telling his wife that their daughter ran away, and then she keeps having these children and just leaves them on her doorstep. And they ended up raising those children. But at the same time, she was actually in the basement of the same house. Yeah.
I'm just, I don't
Okay,
know what to
the
say.
other
I'm
stuff are
sorry.
not
I'm just
not
hearing
that.
about
Yeah,
this
so
for the first time, so I'm just like in fucking deep shock.
yeah,
Dear
right.
fucking
So that's why I
God.
wanted to kind of summarize what the actual case was, because I don't know if it's very well known in general, for example, in the US, because this is a New York Post article, so it must be like somewhat known.
Yeah, I think it is, but it's like there's also some cases in the States where this happened. So, or like, you know, a similar case where they're there for 15 or 20 years in the basement and etc. But this is, I mean, this sounds familiar, but I don't remember if this is a case in the States that's kind of
Mhm.
similar or if it was this case that someone alluded to. But I'm just like, dear fucking God, the depravity of
It's
humankind is, I just can't, I just can't wrap my brain
yeah,
around it. Yeah.
it's yeah, kind of probably I don't know, one of the most horrible cases that I heard of, at least according to my own personal opinion. But I mean, sure, like he's very old. Probably he's not going to do any more harm. It's just sort of like, okay,
But
I
how
don't
does,
know.
like, I just want to know how his kids now feel about the whole situation, being imprisoned and that type of stuff.
Mhm.
Like, what are they? I feel like they should be able to decide whether he gets leniency or not. I just, nah.
Yeah, it doesn't say, this article at least doesn't say anything about that. But it just kind of has a few more details about how they change their names and live in a different town. And yeah.
Yeah, I'd be just traumatized having this in the news, you know? Like, after,
Yeah,
that's what I
totally.
would be thinking, like, okay, maybe just don't publicize it. If he's actually going to be released, then okay, great. He's going to go to a fucking elderly home. But then it's just kind of re-traumatizing for his, well, I hate to call them his kids because I just, oh God. But yeah.
Yeah, but then again, like, I'm sure that they remember. Like, I don't know, this is a completely different topic, actually.
Mm,
Sorry. But, like, I've lately been reading articles about this whole, like, well, the bigger picture, this, like, trigger warning culture we have nowadays. Like,
yeah.
everything has to be warned that, okay, there might be a trigger, but that
Mhm.
it's not actually a good thing, that people, that will not help
Yeah.
your traumas, that you just keep escaping. Like, I can see
Mm.
anything that is related to something horrible that has happened to me.
Mm,
So, like, okay, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, but I mean, if they see it in the news article, probably they don't read it. Maybe they skip it if they, like, really don't want to think about it. But it will, just seeing the name or like the case will probably bring them some memories. But
that's what I
it's not
mean.
like,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
like, okay, they get the memories, but probably it's not something like, they have the trauma, and I hope that they have somehow been able to deal with it and live somewhat decent life,
Yeah, I
in
Yeah.
mean,
the
there are
sense
some
that
like
it's not
positive
like,
things
but
about them in this article, that they have, yeah, went
but
on with her life and yeah, with their
yeah,
life.
like that they are not, completely, I don't know, being unable to do anything.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
would say that if you have a horrible experience in your life, it will just, in a way, it will be there. And some days you remember it more, some days less.
Mm.
I mean, I
But
was just more thinking
you
of like
can
the
never
fact.
be in this bubble
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
you
But
would
I was just more
never
thinking of this
anything.
guy. Like, if I was his kids, I'd be like, fuck that guy. He deserves to fucking
Yeah.
rot in prison. That's where
Yeah,
I'm
of
like
course.
at. I'm like,
Mhm.
I would be like, okay, some people can forgive and forget, but I would never. And I'd be like, keep him from me in a locked facility because then I might commit homicide. You know, I don't know. Just it's, I Yeah,
Yeah.
that part is kind of the more traumatizing thing, that
But
knowing he's out, even though, he's an
oh
old
yeah,
man, but that he's out of a secure facility. Okay, depending on how secure the next facility he's going to, and he actually has dementia and whatever. But I just would hate the fact that he's now out of prison if I was the kids,
Yeah, or like that he has a nice kind of
Yes. Yes.
time
yeah,
in the rest of his life. That's a little bit
Yes.
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Does he
And
deserve it?
he was
No.
sentenced in 2009, so it's not like he spent so much time in prison.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Yeah, because
Um,
I mean, I'm sure that if he gets into this like home for people with dementia,
Mm.
it's probably secured because people with dementia
Yeah.
tend to escape
yeah,
so you have to keep it locked so people, don't get into accidents.
yeah, of
But
course. And
still,
I don't think
as said, it's
that's a
nice.
concern here that he
Yeah,
would get out
but
and
more about the like,
enslave another person or something. But
yeah,
just I don't know if you've
want
seen
him
this
to
guy.
suffer, kind
Yeah,
of.
I would.
Which,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He
I
should
don't
be
know if
locked
you've
in the
seen
fucking
how this
basement.
guy looks like. Yeah.
But that is
So
the whole philosophy of like what is justice? What is like the European justice system is not that much about punishment in the end.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, then going back to his age, can you really rehabilitate him and
no,
whatever? No.
I don't think that's even an aim here. Like, how
No.
would you? And
Yeah,
if he has dementia and everything, like,
Yeah. I just
and it was going on for such a long time. Like, oh
that's
my God, imagine that
yeah, yeah.
his daughter was locked in that basement between the
24
ages of
years.
18 and
24
42.
fucking
Yeah,
years. I just I'm trying not to
it's
think about it
crazy.
too deeply because I then will just nope. Yeah.
Plus
I just
those 3
Yeah.
kids as well.
Mm,
Yeah.
She had to give birth to 7 children in the basement. It's
ah,
just so fucked up. I don't know if you've seen this guy before. Like, have you seen his
I saw
picture?
his
I
face.
put
Yeah.
Okay. I put a link to this article in the chat if you want to.
Yeah. I remember when I read about this case first time, it was very haunting. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
And I'm sorry, but this is the creepiest fucking person that I've seen in my life. He really like looks like the boogeyman, or I don't know, like I don't know.
He has like
Okay.
Grinch
Well,
eyebrows. I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So
Wow.
yeah, this is this is what's going on with one of the Austrian basement cases.
yes.
Well, thanks for that. These were
Uplifting
so fun.
stories as usual.
Well, I mean, at least they were recent and I don't know, interesting. I think.
Yeah.
Thanks for
We're always
listening.
so happy always so happy about I don't know. Just like after these cases, we're always so like, oh, okay, well that was very shitty. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet
Maybe we
dreams.
should change our podcast to something nicer.
I think this is why in My Favorite Murder they came up with this fucking hooray thing
Yeah.
in the end of
Yeah.
every episode. Like say
Yeah.
something that made you happy this week to end them. Maybe we should think about something like that for our episodes as well.
I mean, there was this one thing that I just learned today, like, because I don't know if anybody knows a little bit about me, knows that sharks are my favorite animal. So, in Indonesia, they're having this program, this breeding program for rare sharks, and so they're actually now starting to breed them, or like have the egg sacs, and then hatching them and raising them, and then resetting them in the wild, and that's kind of like a new thing that they're going to try to do with more species. I forget what type of species these were. There was something, maybe some carpet sharks, or I don't remember, but yeah. So that's promising. Sharks are on the
Nice,
rise.
nice.
It's like, I think it was 37% of shark species are actually endangered. So yeah, go sharks.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah,
That's
that's nice.
already better.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because sharks are a sign of a healthy ecosystem. You need sharks on coral reefs. So yes. Yeah. Okay. That was my. Yeah. Okay. So
I can't remember anything happy now. So let's say we had this one happy news for the
Oh
end,
yeah, I
and
mean I
for
can
next.
share more stuff too about animals. Animals are kind of my topic. I don't know, like I guess my like my hyperfixation always is animals, animal facts. But and then another one was in New Zealand they successfully moved, was it 42 or 22 trapdoor spiders because there was going to be this reforestation or whatever of this area. And they were going to basically, because, you know, trapdoor spiders, they live in the ground, they burrow, and then they, you know, use their little like plug kind of, you know, that they pop open and then grab their prey and ambush their ambush predators. And so they live like these spiders. The oldest one has lived up to 43 years before it died of like a wasp injection. Anyway, so it died at 43 years. So these spiders live for decades, right?
Wow.
And so they were endangered, like of being, you know, decimated their population. So they researchers like dug them out and like saved them and then moved them to a different area. So that's also kind of happy news too for spiders. Okay,
Nice.
that's it for my
40 something years. Crazy.
yeah. Okay, so that's it for me and animal facts. Or should I have animal facts every time? That could be my
Oh
palate
yeah, we
cleanser.
could
Could
do
we
that.
just
We
have
could do
like
that.
an animal podcast?
Yeah,
Also,
animal
in
news.
addition to the political and the
Yeah.
happy one. Oh well, it could be the happy one.
Yeah,
But I mean, animal news are not always happy. Let's be honest, right? Like most of them are very not happy. So
yeah, that's very true
yeah.
too. I have my brain is
Mm.
like already thinking, oh, I have another one, but I will stop now. So that's the tangent
Save that for
episode.
next time.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Remember when you're sad that space, the final frontier. I mean, space, it's wide. Like, there's so many stars. I'm sure there's so much life. We're just small grains
Yeah.
in the greatness of space. Nothing matters. So don't worry. Don't be sad. Remember
So
the
nihilistic
space.
of you.
That's
Yes.
I mean,
my
there's something
space
comforting about
comfort.
that. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I think
Okay.
we can sign off with this one today.
Okay,
That
great.
we can
Yeah.
say that well, nothing actually matters. So
Nothing
don't worry
really
too much.
matters. Okay.
It's grains in space.
Yeah. Follow us on our regular channels. Go to our Instagram, Translation Murder Podcast. Send us emails, translationmurderpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye. Hei paralla.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.